Hey guys, it's Derek Z, physical therapist. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to properly lift a load safely. There are a couple quick tips before I go into showing you different lifting techniques. When it comes to lifting something heavy, it's all about optimizing your mechanics and your technique while managing a heavy load. Tip number one. When it comes to lifting something heavy, you want the heaviest part of the object closest to your body. So really so I have this stick here. This is a 2-pound weight, and if I were to lift this stick with the 2-pound weight close to me, it's pretty easy because of the torque and the distance that's on my shoulder. So the further the weight that's away from my body, the more torque there is on my shoulder. Because this is so close, pretty easy for me to do. However, if I were to flip this around, now this weight is further away. If I were to continue to lift this up, it is a lot harder, mainly because of physics. The distance from my body to the weight is a lot further away. As a result, there's more torque on my shoulder. So when you're lifting anything heavy, keep the weight as close to your body as possible. All right, so for tip number 2, when you're handling a heavy load, you don't want to bend or twist at the same time. So for instance, let's just say I want to pick up this box. So if I'm picking up this box and I'm bending down to pick it up, I don't really want to pick it up and then maneuver it, because then now I'm lifting this load, I'm side bending, and then I'm rotating at the same time. So really what happens is now I'm applying a load in 3 different planes of motion in your spine. So if this is something that your body doesn't have the capacity for, or you haven't practiced it a ton, it can increase your risk of injuries. For tip number 3, you want to move your trunk in line with your body when you're maneuvering a load, especially when you're walking around with it. So what do I mean by that? Let me show you. So you come here, you lift it up, okay? You don't really want to be twisting this way, because now when you're doing that, now you have something heavy that's on your spine, and then you're adding a rotational force to it while under load. Not the best thing for it to happen, especially if you haven't trained for it or you haven't had a ton of practice. What you do want to do, however, is to turn your entire body and then move it where you need to move it. Turn the entire body versus twisting it this way. So with that said, I'm going to show you a variety of lifting techniques that you can use on a daily basis. The first lift is the squat lift. So this is the most common and the most basic from all the lifts. So when you're coming down, you're basically squatting down, you're keeping your back nice and straight, okay? With this box, it has handles, so it's nicely ergonomically positioned already. And then from there, you get it as close to you as possible, and you basically just stand up with that versus bending your spine. Make sure the biggest thing is keeping your back nice and straight when you're lifting this up, pushing up with the legs. With that said though, most boxes don't have the ergonomic handles, and in reality, you're really lifting from the bottom. So that requires you to squat lower. So to be able to do that, have a wide stance, squat all the way down, wiggle your fingers underneath the box. Again, get it close to you, and then what you can do is lift it up a little bit so you can rest your arms on your thighs. Now this object is close to you and you can lift it up. So it's an optimal position for you. Now the object is closest to your body. For those of you who have a hard time getting into a deep squat, the half kneel lifting position might be better for you. So what you can do is, I have a little bit of a pad here just to help protect the knees for comfort. In reality, if you don't have anything like that, you can use a towel, or if it doesn't bother you, you can just go without it. So what you do is you kneel down, get close to the box, okay? I'm not going to use the ergonomic handles because in reality, most people don't have the ergonomic handles, and you really have to get your fingers underneath and get your hands underneath the load. So I'm going to bend down here. As I bend down, I'm actually hinging at the hip and keeping my back nice and straight. Wiggle my fingers underneath. Get it so the weight is close to me. And then when I lift this up, I'm not lifting with my back, I'm lifting with my hip. So I'm hinging at my hip to come back up into extension. When you have the load here, what you can do is now you can rest it on your thigh and optimally position your arms so you keep the object close to you. And then from there, you can stand up. This should be a lot easier to do the minute you have the object close to your body. The last technique is a lunge lift. This is really for those items that you carry on one side of the body. This box right here has one handle, and I'm gonna carry it on one side of my body. So I'm gonna carry it on my right side. So to get into a lunge position, because this box is kind of bulky, I'm gonna have the left leg forward. This is actually very similar to the half kneel lift technique, except you're not kneeling down onto your knees. So you bring your legs all the way out into a stride stance, get in position. Before you get in position, maneuver the weight or maneuver yourself over the box, over the item that you're lifting. So when you're lifting, the line of force is straight. So you're not lifting from a distance, you're not lifting from here, you're lifting right under you. So when you're bringing it up, it's a straight line up. So in other words, when you're bringing this up, your back is nice and straight, you're gonna bring that up and then walk forward. And then you carry that wherever you need to carry that to. To bring this down, it's a squat descent. So from here, you just squat down, same thing as if you were to lift it up. The line of pull is straight up and down. Remember, your risk of injury depends on multiple factors, such as frequency and duration of the lifts, how heavy the load is, your technique and experience, your own medical history, and your own fitness level. These are all things and factors that if you optimize, you should be able to decrease your risk of injury. That's all I got for today in terms of lifting. If you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.